welcome back to the Watch and Cut channel. Today, we've got something fun to unbox, something I'm really excited to share. Actually, something I'm just really excited about, period. So I got myself my first SIG Sauer gun. Generally, I'm a Glock guy. That's what I have. That's what I like. I don't even want to explain why I'm a Glock guy. I just love Glocks. Have a couple. I also have a 1911, so don't shoot me there, you know. But yeah, so I got my first SIG Sauer. So really what happened was I saw that SIG released the SiG P226 X macro in California on the roster. So since that got it added on the roster, I thought maybe it was time to venture out of my Glock world and try a couple different little things. And so I ordered a SiG P226 X macro. 3-4 weeks later, the back order status was pushed even further. So I said, you know what, scrap that. Let me get something else because I'm not waiting 6 months for a P226. So what I decided to do, as I was thinking about what to do next, actually, I stayed with the brand and just kind of peeked at their catalog to see what else I might be interested in. And to be honest, the only gun I really had any further interest in was the SiG P226. Now, the SiG P226 is a fantastic gun. It's very well known in the gun world. It is iconic. It's been very well proven. As a matter of fact, it was almost the U.S. military gun for a very long time. But instead, it got beat out by the M9 by just a little margin, which was price related, by the way. They did a couple tests to try to gain this military contract with the SiG P226, and it was the Beretta M9, and it was versus Smith & Wesson brought a gun. I think there was like 6 or 7 pistols applying for this military contract. And what ended up happening is the SiG actually won out on the most reliable of all of them. Second to the Beretta M9, which I think was around 17 to 1800 rounds between malfunctions, whereas the SiG was more like 2800 rounds between malfunctions. But the Beretta did do a little bit better in the mud test, probably because the open slide design and all that other stuff. So eventually, the military saved a little bit of money and got themselves into a Beretta M9 contract. So naturally, I thought to myself, maybe I should look at a Beretta M9 or a P226. I've never owned a dual to single action pistol. It's probably something I should learn how to do if you're kind of into the gun thing. So very different from the striker fire guns I'm used to. Although the 1911 does give me some familiarity, God, I can't speak today, huh? With this type of design in some respects, with the dovetail design and kind of with the way that the grip sits. So yeah, I decided to go ahead and get myself a SiG P226. Now this one's just not a regular P226. This one is the upgraded version. It's not a Legion, but it's a SiG P226 Elite, and it's the Scorpion. Now, the Scorpion nomenclature, that's going to look nice in my knife box. So the Scorpion nomenclature really indicates two things. It's basically the Cerakote color, and it also includes these really cool grips that are, I believe, made by Hogue. I think these are the Hogue Piranha grips, if I remember right. But yeah, they come with the gun from the factory. You get a bunch of other little upgrades as well for it being the Elite nomenclature. And the Elite will come with a shorter reset trigger, which is a nice upgrade. It also adds these slide serrations, and you also get night sights on it, which is a nice upgrade. I don't even think night sights should be considered an upgrade. I think night sights should, at this point, be part of standard equipment. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, this did come with it, and the standard 226 does not. The other one I was looking at was the Navy SEAL version, which pretty much the same thing, except it's all black, a little bit different grips, and it's got a little anchor up at the top. But that gun's got the saltwater treatment, which means a lot of the internals and the gun and stuff have been treated to handle saltwater. I don't think that's kind of the case with this one. However, it is Cerakoted, so that is going to definitely help against corrosion all on its own. So yeah, the SiG P226. It's got some really nice place controls, a little bit weird for this Glock guy right here, as generally when I have a slide lock release, it's kind of more up here, and that's where the decocker is, and the slide release is back here. Now, I do like this setup better. As you can see, it was really clever how they set that up, because if I just do a radius with my thumb, I have all three controls right here. This is the magazine release. Probably one of the few guns I've not really cared to add an extended one to. This one's nice. It works really well. So even if I'm gripping the gun, the adjustment I need to make to get to the mag release is very, very minor. I guess, maybe I could do a little extended one. I don't know. But you can see where my thumb is. And if I'm really gripping the gun, then I really don't have any reach to it, as you can see. I have to like kind of slightly pivot over. But what I do like is the fact that the magazine is almost like spring-loaded on the way out. You can see it just shoots right out, which is really, really nice. So I think that is a huge plus, especially when you're trying to switch magazines really quick. And this gun does come with 2 magazines, which is never enough. And these are the 10-round capacity, because, hey, I live in California. Isn't that great? So you can see it's supposed to carry considerably a lot more rounds than it does. As a matter of fact, I think if I remember right, these usually hold 15 on the 226 and plus 1 in the pipe if you want. So yeah, you got 2 high quality metal magazines. They have these plastic base plates, which are nice because that's usually where they get banged a lot. But yeah, the magazines themselves are all metal, so that's nice. As far as continuing on the controls on the gun, you got your decocker right here. I don't know if you guys are familiar with what that is. So if you guys aren't familiar with the decocker, this is a hammer fire pistol. So what that means is the hammer gets cocked back, and then to demonstrate, it's gonna need a mag. When you pull the trigger, the hammer flies forward. There's a little pad back here that it strikes, and then boom, your gun fires. So if you run the gun on single action with the hammer back to get the short trigger on it, what ends up happening if you want to put this thing back on safe, a lot of old school guns, you would have to manually hold the hammer back and decock the gun, right? And if you slipped while you're doing this, the gun might go off, right? So to make it a lot safer, they added what's called a decocker lever. They're not the only ones to do that. Beretta, I think, has the G model on their 92 FS where you can have a decocker function lever right here up at the top. This one's right here on the side. I think that's a little bit better, to be honest with you. Just because of its placement, I think is a little more convenient. And then last but not least, you have your slide lock release. So as you are changing mags, you put a new mag in, you want to release the slide, it's right back here, and it actually has like a nice ledge on it. So you don't press like two inwards and down, you can just press it down and the gun cycles. Really, really, really cool. So, and that's pretty much all there is to it. Now, this is a dual action, a single action pistol. Another thing, I guess I could explain what that is for some of you guys that may not know, since I am a knife channel. But basically, as a safety mechanism, this gun has a very, very long, difficult first pull. And what that indicates is if you're going to pull the gun out and you're getting ready to shoot, this will be a lot more forceful and intentful to take that first shot. So in other words, if you go, whoops, I don't want to take that shot, there's a lot more intent here, a lot more pressure. So if you indeed need to take that shot, then you just pull straight back and you're going to get your first double action trigger pull, which is close to about a 10-pound pull if you're asking. But what happens after that is, and I do have a mag to kind of simulate this. So you take your first shot, right? And then as the gun cycles, when it resets, it only resets right here. So now the hammer's back, you got a single action trigger pull. Very light, probably about 3.5, maybe a 4-pound pull max. And then you got a nice clean break every shot that follows up after that. So you can even see the trigger reset is pretty short. Now this gun on its own, the Elite version, actually comes with a factory trigger upgrade where it's actually shorter than the standard P226. So I do like that a lot. I have actually never shot a standard P226. The last one I shot was an Elite as well. But then this decocker lever, once I do that, you can see it puts it back on safe, hammers up, triggers all the way far forward and dual action pull. So now you got a gun on safe again in some sort of respects. So that's kind of how the dual action, single action trigger pull works on this. That's kind of how these are designed to function. This is the takedown lever. These guns are really, really easy to take down and clean. So I do like that quite a bit. I gotta say it's probably almost easier than a Glock because you don't have any pins that fall out or anything like that. So I do like that aspect of it. Another upgrade, like I mentioned, with the Elite version, you get the night sights. So these are the SIG night sights, factory ones. But this is considered an upgrade, so there you go. Now the Elite version also has this really pronounced beaver tail. The standard 226 is a little bit shorter back here. So this is more of like, you know, for good grip and a little bit less lift, but obviously, you know, to carry around in rigs and stuff. This is not a tactical application type feature. So this is more for shooting sports. Better grip, better shooting, better accuracy. And then another thing that this gun has, it's got a weapon light mount. So you can mount a weapon light on there if you so please. And yeah, that's pretty much the SIG 226 in a nutshell. Very nice gun. Full metal frame. You've got aluminum up here on the bottom side, and you got a stainless steel slide up at the top. Very cool gun. So yeah, that is the SIG P226. Talking about servicing this thing and how easy it is to take down. So I'm going to show you guys how easy it really is. So first, you're going to take your magazine out. Then you're going to go ahead and lock the slide to the rear. Once you do that, you've got this really nice little lever here that you flip downwards, right? Once you do that, you pull this to the back, slide goes forward, and there you go. Then here, you're going to see you have your spring. It's going to come right out. There's your guide rod. Now they indicate which side goes to the back, which is why this is colored red. And then there's your barrel. There's your slide. You can see mine's nice and lubricated.
That's what she said.
Because I just serviced this gun since it's brand new. Here's the barrel. And to put it back together, it's really quite simple. You can see the full length rails here. So to put it back together, you put the barrel in. Right, make sure the lug's nice and tight. We're gonna take this guy and this guy, put them together. Then the front side here is gonna go right in there. We're gonna put this, sleeve this back onto the ledge right over here where the barrel is. Very much kind of like a Glock, really. So there you go. Once you have that completed, and take your gun, we're gonna put the slide on to the frame. And when I do these things, guys, I never force anything. If something doesn't go on smoothly, then I pull it back apart and check again, because there's nothing that's gonna work from forcing anything in. So once you got this back together, you're not done yet. You gotta lock it to the rear. You're gonna flip this little lock lever back down. We're gonna go ahead and just do a quick little function check here. All right. Got dual action. Let's see. Lock it to the rear. Single action. All right. Looks like the gun functions, and there you have it. Pretty easy, isn't it? There's so many reasons why I love this pistol. The easy takedown, all the necessary accessories are equipped on the gun already. It's got a cool trigger. It's a nice, I would classify this as a very safe gun to carry, especially with this dual action trigger mechanism. Also, the gun is very ergonomic. Everything's very clean. You've got checkering right here. You've got more grip in the back. The gun just feels solid in the hand. It is just a very well-built gun. Now, the fact that this is a full metal frame gun does make it feel more substantial in the hand. It's not a very narrow gun. This is a little bit more beefy than carrying your good old Glock 19. So yeah, there's just so much to this gun to love. I'm a big fan of it. I could have done without the Scorpion edition. I don't think that was necessary, but it was the one that was in stock, guys. It was the one that I could get a little sooner. So we went ahead and got this one. I think if I would have chose, I probably got the Navy SEAL one without the big beaver tail and then all the salt treatment internals. But I have no gripes about this one. This one looks even sweeter. It was slightly more expensive, but well worth it. So yeah, that's gonna about do it. Can't wait to take this thing to the range on Sunday. It's gonna be a blast. I'm gonna see how familiarized I can get myself with the SiG P226. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Hope you liked this video. Make sure you leave a comment down below. What's your favorite gun? Do you own a 226? Is it part of your collection? Make sure you leave comments, subscribe, hit the bell, all that good stuff, and we'll catch you guys all on the next one.